Shalom Aleichem again. We're doing number 7, and the reason why I'm going into so much detail and you can see that I have no exact format, but I'm just speaking kefi pshutai, is because I think, to me, it's a very big chiddush that somebody from the Torah Oilum can come to such a havana, can come to such a maskana. And so I want to give the opportunity, maybe even before contacting, to see all of these segments and to see a little bit of the different aspects. Of course, there's so much to cover, and B'ezras Hashem, I hope that more things will come up that I'll be able to answer, and that I'll also be challenged with to look into, maybe shilas that I didn't think of, and also pshatim that I didn't think of, things that will help, like the things that I mentioned before about the different things which the goyim don't know about, and a lot of the things which they take, very simply, but I see much more richness in them from, like I said, from the memoh Chazal. So that's what I'm hoping for, even more. So there was a Talmud of Rabon Gamliel, and this Talmud, I don't think that he had Reshus from Rabon Gamliel. And the reason I say that, and I want to find out, Taka, is because it seems that Rabon Gamliel said something, he's recorded it as saying something, which was a memoh nafshokh, which is a raya already that he said it, a miktsas raya, that he would have said something like that. And so it seemed like that was a little bit in defense of the Talmidim of Yeshua, of the things that they were doing after Yeshua went up to Shemayim, and after he wasn't here with us in the Guf. So one of the things that was said was that there was, what happened was that Rabon Gamliel spoke to the Kohen Gadol and to the other ones in the kehila, in the Yiddish kehila at that time, who were in charge, the leaders, and because they were going to persecute, and they chapped a lot of the Talmidim, and they were going to really do things to them. And Rabon Gamliel addressed the assembly, or whatever it was, and he said, if it's from Hashem that they're doing all of these nisim, so you don't want to fight against Hashem, right? If it's mamish the MS, this is what Rabon Gamliel's reasoning was recorded. If it's min hashamayim, if it's the MS, so you don't want to fight against that, versteht sich, right? So he kind of got them to admit that, and so he said, well, no, we don't, we wouldn't want to. So if it's min hashamayim, but if it's not, then you don't have to really take any action anyway, because you don't have to be too concerned. He said to them that it's not going to last anyway, because Lamaisa, there's nobody around from the other false Moshiakhs. If he was a false Moshiach, so there's not going to be anyone around. It's not going to last anyway, and what do you have to worry? Why do you have to bother wasting time with them? Let them say what they say, let them do what they do, and it's gonna fizzle out. It's not going to have a kayom. But if it is from Hashem, if it is the MS, so you certainly don't want to do anything, and so leave them alone. So Rabon Gamliel was quoted as saying, leave them alone, pretty much, which is interesting. So, maybe Rabon Gamliel changed his mind. I could only have a question about it, really. I'm not 100% sure. And I hope that maybe somebody could communicate to me about what exactly the Metzias was, of who were the leaders at that time, and who was, because like we spoke about, I know that it was so corrupt, and that the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, and everything was going downhill. And my understanding is that there were just some Yechidim, and there was Rabon Gamliel, and there was the others who were the Gedolei Hador, but nobody listened to them. I mean, the majority of the people didn't listen to them. And those are the majority of the people who Yeshua was talking against, because Yeshua spoke against them. So, and just like they hated Yeshua, so they hated the Talmidim also. And the reason that these leaders, the corrupted leaders of the kehila, hated Yeshua, because he was talking the emes to them, and he was saying what they were doing that was wrong. They weren't leading the people the right way. They were like Am Yisrael has had a lot of leaders like that. They weren't going in the right way, and a lot of Nevi'im came to them. So, and it's the same thing, and a lot of them hated the Nevi'im at that time. And it's the same thing. They hated this Navi. They hated Moshiach when Moshiach came, when Yeshua came, and they hated him, and they hated his Talmidim, all for the same reason, weiter. So, if anybody can tell me more about this, I really, B'ez Hashem, I want to hear. Because it would help me to understand better, and then we could see exactly, we have to understand, and Hashem gives the Havana. So I don't know, maybe this Talmud of Rabon Gamliel, because what happened was that his Talmud went around pretty much chopping these Talmidim of Yeshua, and he was instrumental with the leaders and with the kehila that was being raidif them and being ma'aseh them, and just really putting them in jail, whatever they were doing, all kinds of things. This Talmud of Rabon Gamliel was very, very active in that. And so I don't know if he had the Reshus of Rabon Gamliel, or if he did it stamazai, he was a little hot-headed or something, and he was zealous, and he was, stark, and he said, well, it's for the good of Klal Yisrael, and he felt, influenced. Maybe he was influenced by other leaders. Maybe there was other things going on with him exactly that made him do that. At first, I don't know, but this I know, that he was his Talmud. He was his Talmud. He was a Yid, and he was right with them. And one time he was going on the road. He was traveling, and he saw a bright light, and he had an encounter, and Yeshua came to him, and he said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am Yeshua, who you are persecuting, who you're being raidif, and all these sorrows that you're causing them to me." And other things happened. He had an encounter. I believe that more than that happened. That's what's written down, and that's what, that's the edus that we're told. That's the record, the account that's given of what happened. But I versteht that there was most likely more that took place, and the reason I say there was more is because he was completely transformed. And now, just like before, he was raidif them with a big sinner, so now he went to all of these kehilas with a big ahava, and he was mechazek them, and he was explaining to them, and he did a lot of nisim, and then people took his handkerchief, put it on a sick person, and he was healed. All kinds of nisim happened, and also this Talmud of Rabon Gamliel went around, and Hashem sent him, Yeshua sent him, primarily to the goyish kehilas, to the goyish communities. I shouldn't say kehilas, but to the goyish communities. He went around to the different places, and he also went to the Yiddish kehilas at the same time, because like I'm saying, this started off as a Yiddish thing, and the goyim came to where the Yidden were, and they heard them read the Torah, and that could be, we have to see, you remember it says by Yom Kippur, it says that we have Reshus l'espalo im ha'arayonim. Maybe this was the goyim who came, and even maybe this was written at that time, that it was written that they were Reshus to be mispalo on Yom Kippur, even with those Talmidim, or maybe with those Amei Haaretz, the goyim who came in. So the goyim came to the botai kenasiyos at that time, and that's where this Talmud of Rabon Gamliel was talking, but primarily he was addressing the goyim.